Good morning. Hello, hello. So I've been looking at my feed lately on both LinkedIn and X, and Trump's making a lot of moves, tons of moves, and he's not even in office yet. And it's trying to understand, like, why are you making these moves? What's the big picture? And a lot of people do this, checkers versus chess, but I don't think he's playing chess at all. And I'm going to tell you why. So let's go to. I want to take a look at my feed here. So I was looking on LinkedIn, and here's just a couple of things that he's doing, right? First off, we're rebranding the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Okay, right? So that's one thing. That's interesting. Most people, would say, well, does that really change anything? I don't know. Then there's some of this legal stuff that we still see that's going on. And some of this stuff drives me crazy because I look at this. If you haven't followed, I think it's Judge Merchan. This person is, I think the sentencing for the hush money case is tomorrow. They basically said we still want to go through this, even though he's the president-elect. I think that's kind of insane. That's just posturing. Like, you got to let it go. Just got to let it go. Ain't happening. Nothing's happening there. Nothing's happening. That's a big nothing burger. I don't know what you're trying to prove, but nothing good there. Anyway. Trudeau, holy hell, that's a big one, right? Trudeau, and here's the thing too. If you watch the video, and he's like, I sat down with my family, and we, none of that's true. None of that's true. That's bullshit. We all know that's bullshit, right? Because here's the thing. He was told he couldn't play anymore because there is no way he's getting back in, right? There's no way, and so he was basically told, you're not running anymore. That's it. Pierre Poilievre, he looks like he's gonna be the next PM, but we'll see how that goes. And then this last one here, the Suckerturd, this thing here, this guy here with this, we're gonna stop the censorship and the fact checking. What a I want to be Elon Musk bro move right there. Because for a fact that if Kamala Harris had won, he'd be all about the censorship. 100%. No way. No shadow of a doubt whatsoever. Anyway, so let's see what we've got here. So we got a couple of these interesting international things. The branding, some stuff going on in Canada. And then if you haven't heard, like, we've got some issues with Panama, right? We're going after the Panama Canal. Now, I did, a few seconds of research on that. And I guess in the clause that hands that real estate over back to the country, Panama, if there's foreign influence, we can basically take it back. That's a very high level thing, but there is tons of at least at the minimum Chinese influence in that area. So I think from a national security perspective, that makes sense. And then we're starting to hear of things about Greenland. And that purchase from I think it's Denmark. I might be wrong on that, but if you look at that, this and this is before he's even gotten into office, and everybody's saying he's playing chess. And I don't think he's playing chess. What I think he's playing is Risk. This makes way more sense to me, right? When I look at this, because let's take a quick look, right? Let me get my marker here. So if you look at the United States, and when we used to play Risk as kids, and this is just for my plays, we used to, you put your armies at the border and you'd find your choke points and you'd establish your boundaries, right? And so let's take a look at the United States, right? From the United States and Canada, there's basically, you've got two territories. It's a whole open mess over here. So this Canada right now being not really, and I would say not U.S. friendly at all. I'm sorry, but when they're doing war games with China in this area over here, and its proximity to the Bering Strait and our relationship with Russia, and listening to Trudeau say things like, "Oh, I love Xi Jinping, love him, lots of respect," and the fact that balloon came over that area, right? I mean, not that there's many other paths anyway, but all of that real estate, and nobody saw it before it was hovering over the United States. Okay. Yeah, somebody turned a blind eye to that 100%. Well, anyway, So that's a problem. So you don't really take just the United States when you're playing Risk. You take the whole North American continent. And if you look at that, one of the things, now we're talking about resources and all that, but really strategically from a military perspective, boom, 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 boom. This is where we would go with that. And then we're talking about, making the, the Canada the 51st state. So then we have all of this. We do have Alaska, but remember, if you have, that's just the choke point to the Bering Strait on this other side of the map. Now, here's the other thing. So now we're posturing over in Panama, right? Now we're in Panama here, so we're over in this area here. And what's funny is now I heard something like Honduras. Honduras, I haven't heard from Honduras in a long time. Like from like a national perspective, you don't hear too much about Honduras. And in New Bedford here, they do a lot of the fish cut, and I love the Honduran community. Great soccer players, hell of a group of fish cutters, hard workers. But what I found out was, okay, so their president is Xiomara Castro. And so we have a military base in Honduras. And she's claiming, that she doesn't want her people pushed out during this massive illegal immigration push out, right? But I really think it's just posturing and applying leverage because she knows she has a military base, and we may possibly be having some problems with the Panama Canal shortly. And so I think she's just applying leverage where she has it right now. And this is the first time on the international stage that, a military base in Honduras had a much strategic value. I mean, this isn't Germany, this isn't Japan, this is Honduras, right? So, kudos for her for applying pressure. I do feel like saying things like this is because of the mass immigration push out of the United States and the mass deportation. I don't buy that. I think she's just showing where she has leverage. I might be wrong there. I don't know. But, thanks to Honduras over here somewhere. Well, anyway, so when we look at the rest of this map, we have Argentina, right? And we like this. Milley's the president over there. I like Milley. I think he's a patriot. He's a good guy. I think relationships there aren't too bad. But for Brazil, this is another strategic point here. So if we look at Brazil, let's see. The leader there is Lula. This is Lula da Silva. And Bolsonaro and Lula kind of went back and forth. Lula's I believe, the sitting. And all of this is just minor research. So I might be wrong on all this, so don't listen to me. But he's what I believe is the current sitting president. He's a lefty. Relationships might be tight there, but strategically, like once again, if you're playing Risk, like this is a major problem right here. So we got to shore this up. And so I think there's going to be some focus on Brazil, right? And then the last piece is this rebranding now. So we're getting rid of this whole, like, this is the Gulf of Mexico here. And we're saying that this is the Gulf of America. Now the rebranding makes a lot more sense. And this whole, like, if I was playing Risk and I was trying to control this side of the board, I definitely would do this, us, US versus them approach. This is what makes the most sense to me, right? And I don't even from a resource and strategic perspective, I understand a lot of these moves. But if I was gearing towards what looks like another global conflict where we might see a lot of action on the Western Hemisphere, which we really haven't seen in recent history, nothing crazy. This is how I would divide the map. And so now I feel like Canada is going to be in a tough position because this is when we start talking about them being strategic allies. I think Trump's going to basically give them the shit test. Like you're either with us or you're with them. Make a pick. And I think now that he has the economic capability with sanctions, I think he's going to squeeze the shit out of them to get them to come to the table because they're basically a welfare state to us if you look at the trading imbalances. And so Trump's really gonna put his thumb on that. So anyway, this is just, first off, I'm testing off some of this stuff in OBS, making sure all these overlays work. And I think it looks pretty good. But I also wanted something interesting to talk about. And really, when I see these moves that's Trump making, it's just reminiscent of playing Risk when we were like 12 years old. If you have any comments or you think I'm wrong or you think I'm right, go ahead and give me a comment. All right, take it easy.